Get the Facts of Folan. Welcome to Get the Facts of Folan, episode 38. Cruising through, guys, taking you back to the Middle East today. Headed to Israel, a beautiful country in the Middle East. Wild spot to go to. Some very historically religious spots. So Lior is in. She's on Wi-Fi. Let's see if it works this time. If not, figure something out. Waiting for her to join. Nope. Damn. I tell you what, I think my theory is correct. I do not think iPhones and Samsungs get to work together on live. So let me see, that's what's so strange. Well, half the fun is people seeing you, not me. Let me try calling you once more. Like, I'll invite you, and worst case, it's just a frozen picture of you. And I got enough footage from our road. All right, you can hear me?
I can. Can you?
I can hear you, and you're totally frozen. Viewers, can you see her? Because I can't. Hopefully you can hear her. But, so we have two options here, Lior. We got two options. One, we can either do a Skype call, and then we post it later, or two, you just stay frozen. Your call.
Oh, I don't know how I look frozen. Not just kidding. I don't care. What's the easiest for you?
Katie's saying you're frozen. Damn. Let's just, dang, no one can see. Well, Katie, can you see her?
Hey, Margot.
She's frozen. All right, you know something? Let's just make this like a podcast. All right?
Okay.
Let's do this. So, Lior, say your name, where you are.
C'est pas grave. Maintenant, mais tu dis. Mais je vais te montrer. Merci. Okay.
Do we just totally lose her? Oh! Lior, can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Oh my gosh, it's working. Wow, this is a miracle. There we go.
Okay.
Perfect. Look at that. Okay, now you just have to wait 3 minutes for it to work. All right, say your name, where you are, and how we met.
I'm Lior from Israel, originally from Belgium, but I'm living in Israel now. And we met during a road trip through couchsurfing in the US.
Guys, it was epic. We all met we started together in Las Vegas.
Vegas.
And you were only supposed to be with us through Salt Lake City. You actually extended through Seattle because it was such a fun road trip. We hit so many national parks. We were junior park rangers in every place that we went to. She was the captain of the back, made sure the boys, David and Nicholas, stayed clean. And so we didn't get fined when we returned the car. So, no, it was a truly, truly fun road trip. And couldn't have asked for better company. So, Lior, what's going on in Israel? What's COVID-19 like in Israel right now?
The situation is quite good, but we are locked down. The whole country is locked down. We cannot go further away, like 100 meters from our houses. We cannot go jog outside or anything. But the country is handling it quite good because, like, the numbers of hospitalized and death are quite okay for now. But our lives are inside. Everything's closed. We can only go grocery shopping and that's it.
Well, you guys, Israel was one of the first countries to ban other countries from going through. And the only reason I know that is another friend that I met. She was trying to go from Thailand through Israel, have a week stay there, and then get back to the United States. She couldn't go because Israel banned Thailand.
We took the country took a lot of measures really early. Early stages of the epidemic.
Guys, outside of China, of course, I think Israel is one of the first countries to, react to the coronavirus. In the world.
I think so too.
Almost within the first couple of weeks. So what?
That's why the situation is so good.
If you so what happened if you go 200 meters from your home and get caught, do they fine you? What do they do?
I guess they do. I didn't try it, but yeah, I think like there are police everywhere, and we're not
Yeah.
supposed to go out.
Interesting. So they haven't officially said, like, you won't necessarily be arrested, most likely fined. They haven't said
No,
exactly what.
I think it's a fine. I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, I guess better not to
But
know than not
there
to
are
commit.
like restrictions.
Yeah. Yeah. Not worth getting the fine. What's it like like grocery stores? Are you allowed to go grocery shopping?
Yeah, sure. You can go grocery shopping, but not more than 10 in the shop. And before you enter the shop, you have to put gloves and disinfectant. Like they
In-
check everything,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
they check you if you have like fever.
Yeah. Okay. So they've been doing that here in Singapore as well. Are they running out of toilet paper as quickly in Israel as they are in the rest of the world?
I would say the toilet paper is not an issue anymore, but the
Yeah.
eggs, we're like out of eggs.
Eggs.
Yeah, we can
Interesting.
only buy one pack of eggs each time, and sometimes there are no eggs. So
Sure.
yeah.
That's the first country that's run into
Hmm.
an egg problem.
Yeah,
There's been
we are okay toilet paper. Like for the toilet paper, we're okay, but yeah, the eggs, I don't
yeah.
know why.
No, very interesting. Have they said when the ban might be lifted? Has the government notified when this quarantine might end?
Not that I know of. Like I'm living day by day
Yeah.
because I don't know what's going to happen and nobody knows. So for now, we just lock down and we're just gonna see how it continues.
Yeah. Yeah. Very interesting. Crazy time. And
Mm-hmm.
enough about COVID-19. Let's talk about traveling because Israel is one of the must-visit spots in the Middle East. It's an amazing country. So, in your opinion, what are the top 3 must-see spots when someone visits Israel?
Okay, the first one is Tel Aviv,
Yep.
100%. The vibe in Tel Aviv is so amazing. Only just people watching on Rothschild Boulevard is an experience.
Yeah.
We have the beach, we have bars, we have nightlife, like everything, restaurants, and it's a really particular city. You have everything
Yeah.
there.
It's a classic beach city. It's some very good party scenes, as you mentioned, places to swim if you want to lay out on the beach. So I was
Mm-hmm. You
just
can even serve.
don't land on Shabbat. I didn't realize everything shuts down during Shabbat, so you get a very expensive taxi ride to Tel Aviv. But
Uh,
an awesome city, and I really enjoyed my time there.
we
Was
can say that now it's like a really long Shabbat because everything's closed. It's like
yeah.
a really long Shabbat.
And explain to everyone what is Shabbat.
It's like the seventh day of the week on Saturday. It starts Friday night, and it's just the rest day for the Jewish.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we can say it like that. So nobody works. It's like the weekend and
Right.
prayers at the synagogue for the religious people.
Well, and it's heavily focused on family time, right? That's the time you go. A lot of people go with their family. They'll eat meals
Right.
together, put their cell phones away. Like the families that I've met, it was truly like the time you all get together and just enjoy each
Yeah,
other's.
I personally, when I was in Belgium, I would meet my family every Friday evening for a meal and gather. So yeah, it's like a weekly family gathering.
Yeah. No, it's really cool. I think Shabbat is something more countries should do. The focus on family is quite nice. All right,
Yeah,
Tel
it's a
Aviv's
good
number.
tradition. Okay, the
What's
second
number
is of
2?
course Jerusalem, in my opinion. Um,
Yeah.
all the religious, the spiritual vibe there, the wall, the Arab places, the market, especially on the Friday afternoon. Jerusalem is really interesting and like it's like you cannot find it anywhere in the world, something like that.
It is a fascinating city, and you talk
Hmm.
about one of the most historic, like religiously historical places on the planet. You've got it because 3 of the major religions, all their spots are within a block of
Exactly.
each other. And so you've got the Western Wall, you've got the place where Jesus was buried, rose from the dead. You've got spots for Muslims as well, guys. It's crazy that city. Like it's interesting walking around because they're like we said, all 3 major religions all crossing path. You can walk the stations of the cross. You've got
Yeah,
all
it's
these
really a cultural melting pot and it's amazing.
totally. And what's interesting is like sometimes there's tension there because with these religions there are differences, and so you'll see the Israeli military set up on different blocks, and sometimes protests happen, sometimes things do happen. Like you can kind of, not that it's a bad thing, but you can almost feel a tension just because everyone's on edge, just because they don't want something bad to happen. They don't like. Again,
that's one way of seeing it, but I really like the fact that we all live there like quite peacefully, I would say. I love the peaceful aspect of the place, but yeah, that's true. There are sometimes tensions.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really like the fact that all the religion and all the cultural like mix is living just perfectly together.
And it is a beautiful place, and it's neat that all these religions. I mean, it shows how closely knit. But yes, these religions are different, but at the end of the day, I mean, all your sites are right next to each other, right? There's not that many.
Exactly.
So, all right, Jerusalem, I agree with you. Number 2, very, very good choice. A must see when you get to Israel.
The third place, it was hard to choose between the north and the south, but I would choose the south, the desert and the Dead Sea.
Yeah.
Because seeing the sunset on the Dead Sea is it's really an epic experience.
Oh,
and everybody should be able to do that once.
Covered in the mud, right? Taking it in. It's the Dead Sea, guys. It's one of the lowest points on the planet, right?
It is the lowest point.
The lowest point.
Minus 424, I think.
Yeah, and
just the views there are amazing, and it's so peaceful and quiet in the middle of the desert. I really love the Dead Sea.
It's stunning. Yeah, and again, must visit spot, guys. So it's a salt. It's salt. It's a salt lake, more or less.
Yeah.
And so you cannot swim down. I mean, Michael Phelps, the greatest swimmer in the world, there's no way he could swim down to the water.
No, he just floats.
It's impossible. So
but if you have like an injury, just don't go in because it will burn.
Oh, it would be horrible. It's worse than pouring a bottle of alcohol on it. Yeah, that would. Yeah, good recommendation. But guys, we're checking out the Dead Sea. Rent a car. You can go from Tel Aviv. Yeah, I mean, Israel's quite a small country, so it's very easy to get to almost all the spots within a few days.
Yeah, you can go from north to south you can visit the whole country in a week.
Yeah, easily. And then another good spot that I'd recommend is Haifa. Haifa was a nice city. Some beautiful.
Oh yeah, but you told me to choose 3. I thought it was hard to do.
I'm just throwing it out there for a few more. You could also go to the border of Syria, which is pretty neat. So there's a lot to do. You can drive down the Golan Heights, which is fascinating. So there's some crazy.
You can go to the north where everything is green and really green and beautiful. Then you pass through Jerusalem, Tel Aviv, all the cities, and then down south you have the desert and the Dead Sea. So we can find everything in Israel. Even during the winter, there is snow in the Golan. So you can go from snow to desert, and we have
within
everything.
hours. You can do both. Another country that you really can do. So what about food? What are some of the famous meals that you can get when you're in Israel?
Okay, so all the vegetables are amazing here, the agriculture and everything. I would say the main dish in Israel for tourists would be pita, falafel and pita with all the salads and all the sides. And a weird thing Israeli do is putting trina on everything. The sesame trina, tahini. Trina.
Trina. What is that?
Tahini. I don't know. You said that in English. It's like the sesame. There is hummus and trina. Tahini.
Okay. I don't know what that is.
No, you don't know. You can put that like on everything. They put it with sweet food, with salad, with pita, with everything, with meat. So that's a weird thing Israeli does.
So you put it on everything. Oh, I think I just found it. Let's see. Tahini. What is it made from? Toasted ground hulled sesame. Okay.
Yeah, trina.
It serves as a major ingredient in hummus, baby ganoush, and halva. Okay. All right. So it's like it's a sauce, more or less.
Yeah, but we eat it with everything.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Are there any other weird foods? Anything strange that y'all eat in Israel?
It doesn't come to my mind now, because maybe for me everything is so normal.
Right.
No, falafel, shawarma, hummus.
Yeah. I mean, it's your standard stellar Middle East food. Like that
Yeah.
part of the world, Israel, Lebanon, like there is some of the best food in the world. If you love hummus, my goodness, you're in the right spot.
Oh yeah, you
It's
are.
so good. All right. How about stereotypes? What kind of stereotypes are true and false about Israel?
Okay, the most false stereotype about Israel is that we are in a war constantly, and that
Uh-huh.
we are a war country because we are not. And I think it's really sad that that's the stereotype that stick to us the most. I think like what I'm hearing when I'm traveling and stuff is that when I say I'm from Israel,
Right.
everybody thinks I'm from a war country, and it's so not. So
Yeah.
that's the first stereotype I can think about.
Uh-huh.
Um, and the true stereotype is that Israelis say everything like right in your face without any filter. We are not like scared to tell you the truth. And
Yep.
but it makes us also warm people, and like that makes the charm of the Israeli, in my opinion.
Definitely.
So
Yeah. And something to tell viewers. So Israel, it's mandatory, right? Military service. It's kind of a
right,
rite of passage. Everyone has to serve in the military. And so, what is it? 2 years for women, 3 years for men. Is that right?
uh, yeah, 2 years and 8 months for men.
Okay.
But yeah, if you can't or don't want to do your military service, you can just do a service to the state. So it's like
Interesting.
working in a hospital or with
Yeah.
children. But
Okay.
mostly, I would say 80% of I'm not sure yet, but I think
Yeah.
something like 80% of the population and is the army.
Yeah. It's a heavy majority do it. And what's
Hmm.
interesting is after they've done their service, typically they'll take a gap year, and so you'll meet
Yeah,
a lot of Israel. Funny. There's hubs around the world, like specifically
India,
South America.
South
There's things.
America, Asia.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so you're guaranteed to run into an Israeli if you're traveling the world. Just and ask them. I mean, ask them about their military service. It's very interesting and very friendly people. I've enjoyed my time meeting them around the world, especially the war. And when you said how you're not afraid to tell people what you think, all I can think about is the road trip. I mean, day one, you told David and Nick this back seat is not going to be dirty, and my goodness, did that work. Occasionally, Nicholas
Yeah,
would
it
go up
works.
this, not on you when he would spill the food, but no, I thank you for doing that to those guys because we did not get fined returning home.
Hmm.
All right. So, what is your favorite thing about Israel?
Is the cultural mix. Like you can find everything of every people of every type here. Like I said, I love just standing on Rothschild Boulevard and people watch. Just you find everything, and we just cohabitate in such harmony. In Jaffa, we have mostly Arab people. In Jerusalem, we have the religious one, and like yeah, there are some tensions sometimes, but I would say mainly we live all in harmony, and it's really a melting pot of culture, and I really love that.
Yeah, no, definitely, I like
And
it.
for me personally, I just feel at home here because I feel like it's my country. But
Yeah,
for I would say tourists, it's really the cultural mix that's amazing here.
and guys, when you visit Israel, I highly recommend renting a car. Meet some other travelers, get a
Mhm.
car because you really can cover so much. I was very lucky that I found a train. There's a train that goes from Tel Aviv to Haifa. In Haifa, I met a couple of guys from the Netherlands and just jumped in their car with them, and we road trip together for 4 days. And so you see a lot of the country that way. I mean, you really, as you said, a week is plenty of time to really cover a lot of ground. A lot of people, it's quite popular to cross the border into Jordan. You can, see another country. They're right next door to each other. You can cross down
Mhm.
near
Even
the
to
Dead Sea.
Sinai, to Egypt from south from Elat, you can go to
Yeah.
Sinai, and I heard it's amazing. I didn't go yet, but I will after all this is over.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I am. Well, weren't you supposed? You were supposed to move to Asia, weren't you?
And I was supposed to be in China
China.
now for a few months,
Yes.
but
That's
I
right.
postponed it. I just came back from Asia a month ago to
That's right.
here.
Because we just met each other. You were in. You went through Kota Kinabalu. You were in Borneo. That's right.
Yeah, to
Yeah.
Borneo. I was in Vietnam, Borneo, and Thailand, and I was supposed to
Yeah.
continue to China, but I
Yeah.
didn't.
Dang. Well, hopefully. Well, are you just going to postpone it? You think you're going to try again when everything clears up?
it depends when it does, because I'm supposed to start uni in September. So if it ends up
Shoot.
before, but
Yeah,
I'm kind of pessimist about it. So
yeah, yeah. Damn.
yeah,
COVID-19
we'll
sucks
see.
for that reason. All right, let's get back on a high note. What's one fact about Israel that would surprise people?
Okay, Tel Aviv is the place in the world where we have um, the most startup per person. Like we are the startup nation,
Yeah,
and it's the Tel Aviv is like most we have like I don't know what to say. Um, yeah, the place where we have the most startup per person living here.
yeah.
So that
And
clear?
is it mostly is it tech companies? Like what type of startups are they?
Everything like globally in total, we have like more startups than anywhere else in the world
Interesting. Good fun
compared to
fact.
the number of people living here, right? Because we
Right,
are
right,
really
right,
small
right.
country.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
so I
Okay.
would say that we are the startup nation, and that might surprise some people because
Yeah.
we are a really young country
Right.
and we
No, this.
achieved so much in a
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Any other fun facts, things that would surprise people?
fact, maybe the fact that there is snow in the Golan. I don't think
Yeah,
people
I did.
realize that it's snowing in Israel sometimes, and we
I
can
had
actually ski there.
no way. Interesting.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, yeah. Huh.
Um, what else?
Okay, I've got one. I had a very
Uh-huh.
interesting travel experience in Israel. So I I knew that secure. So Israel has very tight customs, especially when you're leaving the country. And
Mm.
so when you go through Israel, getting through, they don't stamp your passport. Israel does not stamp your passport. They give you a little sheet of paper. And when you
Uh-huh.
leave,
Right.
they go through your passport again, and they've seen what countries you've been to, and then they give you another sticker that basically has like 10, maybe 12 numbers on it. And the only number that should matter to you when you go through customs is the first one. And it's a 1 through 6. And it's basically your threat level to Israel when you're leaving. And so the higher you are on the number list, the more of a threat you are. And so because I had been to 3 Muslim countries before going to Israel, I received a 5. And so luckily I didn't get a 6, but having a 5 meant that as soon as I got to security, I was taken to a separate line. They went through all of my stuff, and one of my buddies, he was a 6. He got interrogated for a couple hours, and so the only reason I'm telling you this, it's not a bad thing, but if you've been to Muslim countries before you go to Israel, be prepared. Like get there at least a few hours before your flight because you may fall into that list. And like again, it's just to protect their country. I totally get it, but that was shocking. That was probably the most secure, like I guess, customs I'd been to around the world when I'm leaving the country. So it was very very interesting. Um, but yeah,
I didn't know that. I have
yeah,
never heard about it because like I didn't go to Muslim countries, but
right, right.
good to know next
It was
time.
my another side story. I didn't realize Israel and Lebanon weren't such good friends, and I found out that if Lebanon has found out you've been to Israel, technically you're not supposed to enter the country. And so if you're going through the Middle East, go through Lebanon first, or you'll have to fly to another Middle Eastern country before you enter Lebanon, or else seriously you'll get deported if they found out you're in Israel. Um, Luckily, I didn't run into that problem. Both countries, very beautiful, both worth your time. But again, Israel, it's awesome, guys. Like Tel Aviv, if you have any religion in your life whatsoever, or you're just curious about it, get to Jerusalem. You will never see a more powerful or city, a more powerful city in the world when it comes to religion. It's just all those major sites are right there, and you can't get away from them. Lior,
Couldn't
what
agree more.
yeah, I really, and I like another, I think, big part of Israel is, I mean, World War II, of course. I've been to a few Holocaust museums around the world. The most powerful one I've ever been to was in Jerusalem. You're speechless when you leave. I mean, it's one of those
Yeah.
spots that they really open your eyes to how horrible the Holocaust was and the way they set up the museum. I mean, you really, I mean, you can never totally fathom what what they went through, but they did a good job. The last room you go to is pictures of, all the photos of the people, the victims of the Holocaust. And so if you're in Jerusalem, again, another spot, get to the Holocaust Museum, because it's one of those places that you will never forget when you visit. So, yeah. With that, Lior, I've been talking too much. One final thing. What would you like to say to the world? What is your message to the world?
About Israel?
About anything you want. The
Okay,
stage is
first of all, of course, come visit Israel. And forget about all the stereotypes you've heard about it. We're not an apartheid state. We are a beautiful cohabitation example. So just come to the beach, to the bars, to Jerusalem, north, south. Everything is so mind-blowing, and you will meet tons of different people. So come to Israel, and let's pass this Corona thing fast and all together, and just stick together, and then let's start travel again and see what the world has to show us.
Yes, amen to that. No, I agree. Get to Israel. Let's get through Corona. Let's get the world back to some sort of normal where we can interact with humans in person rather than online. It's great. It's good to see you, but it'd be much better if we were together somewhere in Asia. It'd be a blast.
For sure.
So, guys, with that, that's the end of, let's see, I think, what did I say? Episode 38. Wow, cruising. Tomorrow, our tomorrow in Asia, your night in the United States, we have a very, very different episode. We're going to take a break from countries just for one episode, and we're going to dive into the crazy Netflix series, The Tiger King. Got one of my friends from uni. She works for Joe Exotic, the man, the myth, the legend, for 8 months, and we're just going to have an Ask Me Anything session in roughly 12 or so hours. And yeah, so send your questions my way. Excited to go live with her. And then in 24 hours, we'll be headed back to the UK. We're going to be interviewing Izzy, who currently lives in London, to get you some travel tips. We got the coronavirus update from my buddy from Canada, but let's talk about the UK when it comes to traveling. With that, if you're watching, please stay at home. Please stay inside. Let's get through this. Guys, one day closer to some sort of normal again. I'm ready for sports to come back. I'm ready for borders to open again. I'm ready to travel so bad. So fingers crossed it happens. Stay at home, stay inside, wash your hands, and together let's get through this. Lior, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure seeing you.
Thank you.
Stay safe, and hopefully we'll catch you in Asia. Hopefully you can get to China before you're
as soon as possible.
So you take care. Good to see you.
You too. Good to see you.
Bye-bye.